fun to explore new stretches of river, but one of the things I was just talking to Mary about is that this is probably the 7th or 8th time we've done either all or a portion of this stretch of river, and each time it's something different. And the cool thing is now when we come back, around every corner there's a new story, something that we remember from the previous time. Whether it's where Mary lost a paddle or broke a paddle, a chute that she went through, or where I killed a goat. Just so many different stories. And of course we'll make new stories on this trip as well. So kind of cool revisiting some of the same spots every year. Any of y'all watched Gatewood Brown's last video? I'm going to give a shout out to Gatewood Brown. If you haven't checked out his channel, be sure to do it. But in one of his videos, he talks about when you're dragging bottom and have to drag your kayak across. And one of the things he mentions is turning the kayak around and letting the nose of the kayak point up current. Current is actually going over the nose of the boat. A mistake a lot of people make, which is exactly what our group was doing, and trying to lead the kayak over by the nose. And the other thing he mentioned is having a leash or a rope or something so you don't have to hold the handle on the kayak. It makes it much easier when you have to drag. So I don't know how much you can hear me with all the water flowing here, but just wanted to give a shout out, and a perfect example of what Gatewood Brown was talking about in his previous video. All right, so one obvious consideration with low river flow is that you're going slower and have to paddle a little more and work a little harder and drag across rocks. So it slows us down considerably. So we got to our camp, which we were hoping to get to by about 5:30. Here we are at 7 o'clock, but we want to go ahead and make it to this spot. We can kind of float around and then walk back up to the upper part of it and then come back. But so we got here a little ahead of the rest of the group, Ryan and Hannah and I, and the first thing we wanted to do is get a fire started. So Hannah did we gathered some wood, Hannah lit the fire, a little morale boost. We'll get dinner going pretty quick. Everybody's hungry, tired, but we're happy to be at camp.
You are so burnt.
All right, we got nine hammockers. So it was we had to improvise on finding trees that would work, but we did it. Mary and Kevin and Matt are back down the river a little ways and across the river, but they've kind of got their own little thing going, so that'd be good. Jeanette's getting ready to put the brats and the Slovakic sausages on, and we're gonna have dinner tonight. Just kind of sausage wraps and tortillas, cheese, that kind of thing, and just enjoy the evening. Man, it's so beautiful out here. Thank y'all for joining us. Yesterday we paddled about 9 3/4 miles. We've probably got another 8 or 9 miles to go this morning. Had a great night here on the river. Got up this morning, Colette made coffee. We had breakfast tacos that we had already pre-prepared, and then we went to work on getting everything cleaned up according to the leave no trace. So now it's about 9:15 in the morning. We're getting ready to set sail for the second day of the trip. So here we go. our go-to spots when we come on the river is Jacob's Creek, where it dumps into the river. So it's a beautiful little spot here. Girls like to swim. It makes like a little natural infinity pool. So we always stop here and enjoy the view, the scenery, the swimming. Mary and I jumped in last year. Girls are swimming in it this year. And they're making a lot of racket, as girls always do. Kind of timely for this trip, based on my video last week. Ryan has actually developed a hole in his kayak and has taken on some water. So I've got the stuff to do kind of the emergency fuel repair, but letting it dry out here, I'm gonna take some Gorilla Tape, put over it, and then put some of that 2-part epoxy that we bought on it and just do a little quick repair on it. We're about 3/4 of the way through the entire trip, so I think that'll hold until we get to Sisterdale and take out. He's actually able to paddle with it, but he's sitting pretty low, so we've had to dump it out a couple times. So while we're stopped here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a little quick field repair. Can't fix it, duck it. All right, well, we'll see how far that gets us. Worst case, it's just Ryan, so he may have to swim the rest of the way, but we'll be okay. That's my wife, Jeanette. This is Colette. That's Kevin. So this is Manny.
I'm Chris.
Yes.
Manny
That's
is
my son, Chris.
Chris.
His roommate, Greg. My son, EJ. Yes, that is.
So Manny has followed us on our YouTube channel.
That is correct.
So
you're gonna be in the movies.
That's the only reason we're here, because of you guys.
there we go.
The only
How
thing
about
that
that?
We can do it. You can do it.
Thank you. The only thing is in comfort, we went to the opposite side. We were he said IH-10 is right here. Yeah, Dad, but that's on that side.
Yeah, you have to drop in on the other side.
This so y'all camp?
No, not yet.
Oh, y'all
We're still learning
Y'all-
from
oh,
you
y'all
guys
going
to
all the
find
way
out
back.
what the boundaries are.
Camp anyway?
Oh, does that?
No.
We're still learning the rules.
I gotta say that was really cool. So we were at what we call Mermaid's Point. We were just swimming, having a good time, and a couple of kayakers came by, and we were kind of chatting them up. And the guy says, "Hey, I know you. I watch your videos all the time." That was really cool. We sat and had a beer with them, talked to them for just a little bit, and they went on down the river, and we're headed back kind of the same direction. So just another really cool thing about being on the river, and a really cool thing about having a YouTube channel is seeing cool people on the river. So anyway, it was great to see you, Manny and EJ and Chris.